Today, let me study excretion. This is human excretory system diagram, which involve in removing the nitrogenous waste materials by biological process. You can find pair of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. And each kidney has numerous of structural functional filtering units called nephron. This is the nephron structure. As you see, a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule. Inside, a numerous of glomerulus blood vessel connections, and down running tubule, proximal convoluted tubule, Henle's loop, distal convoluted tubule and collecting tubule. Today, let me study the last concept in life process, that is excretion. So in the previous class, we studied about circulation. Now how the heart pumps the blood. The heart in human body pumps the blood twice, hence it is called double circulation. But in the fish, it pumps only once, hence it is a single circulation. So this we studied in the previous session. Now we are going to study the last concept, that is excretion. So we already studied the nutrition, where we take the food which is rich with the nutrients that undergo digestion. As a result, it converts into smallest particles like glucose and other small units, and that will be absorbed by the villi and circulated by the bloodstream to all the cells. Once it enters into the cell, that undergo breakdown of the glucose, that is known as respiration, in presence of oxygen and in absence of oxygen. The breaking of glucose in presence of oxygen is aerobic. In absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic. As a result of respiration, only the carbon dioxide will be removed from our body. We have the food which is rich with different kinds of nutrients. Only glucose has been broken down to release carbon dioxide, and there are many more nutrients rich with nitrogen and some other elements. Now that nitrogenous waste will be removed by the process called excretion. In the respiration, lungs is considered to be filtering unit which filters the air. In the same way, in the excretion, the kidneys are considered to be filtering units. The kidneys are the major organs which involve in purification of the blood and removal of the nitrogenous waste. How the kidney removes the nitrogenous waste? It removes in the form of urea or uric acid. Now, the kidneys have the structural functional unit, filtering units called nephrons. So, kidney is an organ, nephron is a unit which involve in excretion. Now, let me study the excretory system in human body. Very simple, bean shape kidneys, and this diagram will be asked for exam, so everyone should practice this. The two tubular structures, these are kidneys, pair of brown colored kidneys, and two tubular structures, ureters, and these ureters connected to a bladder, and that is known as urinary bladder. And finally, it is connected to urethra. This is called urethra. So this is the human excretory system. In your textbook, the veins and arteries being connected. So other than that, this simple diagram is sufficient for your exam. So pair of kidneys, ureters, two pipe-like structures called ureters connected from each kidney, and that is connected to a bag-like structure called urinary bladder, and finally a open called urethra. So this is a human excretory system. This is frequently asked for the exam. And next one is, in each kidney there will be thousands of a structural functional filtering units called nephron. Let me study the structure of nephron. Even nephron diagram is also so easy. So just draw a cup shaped structure and one invagination like this. Just allow it, run it down and rise it up, and finally connect it to another pulp. And inside this there will be a numerous of blood vessels and connection of blood vessels. So this is the structure of nephron. So what do the nephron has? This is called Bowman's capsules. This is called glomerulus. And this is proximal convoluted tubule. And this bended one, Henle's loop. And the upright one, this is called distal convoluted tubule, and this long one, collecting tubule. So this is the structure of nephron. What do nephron perform? It performs the function called urine formation. It performs the function called urine formation. Urine formation is mainly done by the nephrons. How the urine is formed? When the blood flows with high pressure into the Bowman's capsule, the maximum of amino acids, salts and other essential nutrients are absorbed here, and the rest of the waste will be flowed into the tubules. It enters into proximal convoluted tubule, and here once again the salts and water reabsorption takes place, and it enters into Henle's loop where the pH is maintained by absorbing the electrolytes, and then it enters into distal convoluted tubule which is upright and finally flows into the collecting tubule. So here the collecting tubule allows to flow the urine into ureters and collected in urinary bladder, which is a temporary storage organ of the urine, and finally removed by urethra. Like this, the nitrogenous waste is removed from the human body by urine formation. As a result of respiration, carbon dioxide is removed. There is another phenomenon where some salts and nitrogenous waste will be removed by sweat formation also. This about human body. And there is excretion in plants also. How the excretion takes place in the plants? So we see the seasons decide many changes in the plants. And we find falling of the leaves. Why such changes we find only in the plants? Why not in animals and human beings? So there is no specific excretory organ in the plants. So excess of excretory products will be discharged into the leaves, and from the leaves, when it allowed to fall, it drops out from the plant. This is one of the phenomena. And how other cell organelles involved in excretion in the plants? So vacuoles we find larger number in the plants, and that vacuoles will store the excretory products, and the vacuoles will act as a storage of excretory products. And you can come across many plants will produce resins, gums, latex, etc. By this, the plants will release toxic and excretory products from the plants. Even sometimes the old xylem in the plants is also responsible for the excretion. So like this, in the plants there is no specific organ. So peeling of the barks, falling of the leaves, excretory products stored in the vacuoles, formation of resins, formation of gums stored in old xylem. So like this, the excretion takes place in the plants. So this completes the excretion in human and also in the plants.